At Archer's Arena, the battle begins. First, netball. Fast, fierce, unrelenting. Every second counts. Then, women's basketball. Strength, precision, passion. Nothing held back. Finally, men's basketball. Explosive, dominating. Game-changing moments that will leave you breathless. 3 games, 1 day, 1 arena. This is Clash on the Court.
Hey, okay, I know I'm here to stay. Counting on my wins, so I can't play it safe. Try to go against us, get you out the way. Go hard, it's the only way to play. Let me say, I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. Hey, look.
Welcome and croeso to what is one of the most highly anticipated dates in the Cardiff Met sporting calendar, Clash on the Court. We've got a whole range of action lined up for you here this afternoon, starting with the Wands netball, followed by the men's basketball. I'm delighted to be joined by Laurie Stevens, the Cardiff Met netballer herself, and also one half of the commentary team here today. Well, Laurie, the Clash on the Court, what sort of event is it and why is it important to the netballers here at Cardiff Met?
It's sort of like our annual showcase. The girls get to show off how hard they've been working. Just a good event to get a good crowd in and let the girls show off how hard they've been working.
And also taking the Met side of things. Last year wasn't the best. We actually suffered defeat against Bristol. However, last week we won against the same opposition. How important is it to continue that momentum here today against Hartpury?
I think it's really important, especially for that team. I think they thrive off confidence and they're a very strong squad. I think they'll do really well today.
How's the season gone for Met so far?
I think overall we've had a really good start, a strong start. Maybe not so today for the twos, but I'm confident that the ones will push forward.
Oh, and obviously Hartpury as well. They're a strong outfit themselves. They currently sit second in the Bucks table, level on points with Bath. What sort of game are we expecting them to play today?
Hartpury are a much shorter team, I'm sure they won't mind me saying, but they are very quick, they're very sharp, and they're very smart with their ball, but I'm sure Met will be able to counteract that.
And most importantly, can we get your score prediction for today's game?
Oh, that's a good one. I am going to go for 62-51 to Met.
Well, we obviously hope that scoreline comes in. And as you can see, women's sport here is absolutely thriving on campus. And that was headlined with last week's Arch.
I currently work in sports business and I've got 2 businesses, one which works with athletes around image consultancy, image styling and kind of being able to build their personal brand, and the second part of my business is the Mindful Mavericks Club, which is for ethical disruptors within the sports landscape looking to really make sustainable change. Knowing that representation is really important, there aren't that many black women who are coaching, I kind of took it upon myself to go, you know what, people are living this narrative of if you can't see it, then you can't be it. I kind of was on the flip side of I couldn't see it, so I wanted to be it.
I'm one of the co-founders of PV. It's our sports bra brand where we specialise in designing sports bras that really respond to women's breast biomechanics. So we really obsess about how do women move as athletes and how can we bring that through in our design. sports bras belong in kit. So when you talk about an athlete's kit bag and what's in there, you talk about her skirts and her shorts and her t-shirts. Sports bras are a piece of kit. It shouldn't be embarrassing, it shouldn't be weird or awkward. And when we talk about breasts with girls and athletes, that conversation can stay with them.
What advice would you offer someone like myself as a dad?
Not listen to respond, but just listen to them, put them in the centre and make them feel seen.
As you've seen there, the opportunities for women here at Cardiff Met on campus are endless. The Archer event was a fantastic event, and also you can really see, really feel the anticipation building here behind me. The fans are coming in. It should be an excellent game. I'm going to let Lowry go over to commentary, get into position, so I'll let you go off to the gantry. So, the anticipation's building here today. I'm going to throw over to Will Shepherd and Lowry.
Thank you, Will. Prynhawn a croeso I Kincoed campus, the Archers' Paradise here at Cardiff Met University. We have got a wealth of action coming to you over the next few hours, and it is our netball team that is going to tip off this year's clash on the court against Hartpury. We are just minutes away from that one beginning. And let me just take you through the Cardiff Met team sheet. So we have Sophie Jackson, Catherine Mansfield, Trin Lango, Izzy Thomas, Sydney Lauren Palmer, Alana Heath-Drury, Maddie Bromwich, Tia Rhodes, India Still and Emma Grant, and all of those 10 girls are led by co-captains Georgia Hellerman and Izzy Claxton. Alongside me, I have Lowry Stevens. Lowry, just come from your game against Bath for the twos. Can you take us through that match and how you got on?
Yeah, it was quite an unfortunate match for us. We did face Bath twos again last week away. A very similar result, unfortunately, but really proud of the girls, really proud of how we pushed on. We definitely improved from last week and performed loads better, so can't really ask for much more.
And Laura, you are captain of that second team, as well as a Welsh and Cardiff Dragons player at the under-23 level. So you've got a wealth of experience that you're going to be able to share with us today as we go through this match and hopefully fill in the people watching at home on all the events that take place in this match. I just went through the Cardiff Met team sheet there. Are there any players that we should be particularly looking out for? I know that some of them, like you, have also been involved with the Welsh age grade setups.
Yeah, you've got Georgia Hellerman, a vital player in this team. She's been, I think, always in the Welsh age groups. Also selected in Cardiff Dragons under-23s, along with Thea Rhodes and India Still. Unfortunately, Thea is injured at the moment. Same with Izzy Claxton, also in the Welsh age groups. Catherine Mansfield picked up in Bath 23s this year also.
And am I right in thinking that it was Thea who previously played for Hartpury? So it would have been a huge grudge match for her if she had been here today.
Yeah, Thea did a college experience with Hartpury, so that's always a fun match for her.
Okay, and then looking at the Hartpury team sheet, they have made one addition to the team this week. They beat Hertfordshire last week with just 11 women, but this week they've got Becky Etchells back into the team to bring them up to the full complement of 12. They've been able to be consistent in their selection throughout the season so far, the only exception coming when they travelled to league leaders Bath 2 weeks ago with a squad of just 8 players. Now, I mean, it's tough enough to beat a team like Bath with a full squad, but doing it with only 8, it's a bit like playing with one hand behind your back.
Yeah, not ideal. I think Hartpury are a very strong team, though. They would have done well to adapt to that, so it'll be very interesting to see how today goes. Yeah,
they are going to be a tough test for Met. Met's season got off to an electric start. They won 57-40 here at the Archers Arena over Exeter, who they'll actually be playing away next week. They did unfortunately come unstuck in week 2, losing to Hertfordshire, and I believe Hartpury beat Hertfordshire last week. We'd obviously lost to them. So do you think that's going to give Hartpury a little bit of confidence coming into this one?
I find Hartpury are a very confident team anyway. But as I said previously, our ones team, they thrive off confidence. So I think if they go out guns blazing, they know they can do it, then I think they can't go wrong.
And following that match away to Hertfordshire, we then came back to the Archers Arena and we beat Exeter before having a bye last week. So that sees us 4th in the Bucks table at the moment. Hartpury 2 places above us on the ladder, having played an extra game. But it's very tight at the top, with the best 4 sides arguably all able to take wins off each other: Bath, Hartpury, Hertfordshire and Cardiff Met.
Yeah, I think the girls did amazing actually against that Exeter game, especially losing to Exeter by 1 last year. I think they did really well, really resilient to go out and really fight for that win. Yeah, unfortunate about the Hertfordshire game, but also I think they can put that behind them and then really show how they can play really well this week.
Now, of course, today is an extra special home game. It's the clash on the court, so we're going to see a little bit more in terms of light show, pyrotechnics, and hype for the crowd. Have you been involved in a clash on the court yourself before?
No, not previously, no. We've obviously played just before this game happened, but not quite the run out.
And you may be able to pick up on the programme that the noise has gone down here. All of the supporters now quiet in the stands, awaiting the team's arrivals as the lights dip. The red spotlight turns up to guide the Archers onto the court. So it's Hartpury that make their way onto this almost pitch black court first of all. Let's hope that they know exactly where the sub-benches are located and don't have any trips as they run on. And now hear the cheer for the Archers. A great introduction there for Cardiff Met. Lowry, who are the characters on the team that particularly get amped up by that kind of introduction?
I feel like India still, she'll thrive off that. India is she's a great player. As soon as she's confident, she knows she can do it, she'll be flying.
So tip-off coming in just a moment. Hartpury break first and take up their positions on the court. Big cheer from the Met girls. And we can see that co-captain Georgia Hellerman is starting in the wing attack position, as it will be Hartpury to make the centre pass and get this one underway. Just waiting for the umpire's whistle and for the scoring table to be sat. These are nervous minutes for the teams waiting. They want to get themselves underway, don't they? And immediately as that whistle went, the noise level went up. Both teams communicating so confidently with their teammates. Almost interception coming there from Cardiff Met, but it is Hartpury that maintained possession of the ball. Good passing so far, real athletic jumps, and the first scoring opportunity is going to come up now for Hartpury, and it is taken into an early 1-0 lead. Cardiff Met, though, wasting no time, getting their hands on the ball and working their way up into the final third. And the whistle going there, Lauren. Let's move play forwards into the shooting circle, and Met score off that. What was that penalty for?
An obstruction call there, so just less than 3 feet in front of the player with the ball. Not the end of the world, it's a good call.
And a shooting opportunity for Hartpury. Taken once again, 2-1 to them now. And judging that 3-foot rule, 'cause that's something, I mean, I'd have to say in the sports I've played, I've not had to make sure I'm staying a particular distance away. Is that something that just comes with practice over the years of playing, or?
Yeah, I feel like you start to pick it up quite naturally. It can be extremely frustrating when you're adamant that you're 3 feet, but sometimes it's just worth just taking the extra step, even if you're 4 feet.
That's excellent work there from Met. First, a little drop-off pass on the edge of the scoring circle to work their way in and keep the play alive. And then after the initial shot was missed, the goal scorer for Met managing to collect that ball and pop it through the ring to level the scores, although Hartpury immediately restoring their 3-2 lead. Lost ball there, and it's going to be a Hartpury hand to it last, so Met will maintain possession here.
Yeah, just a bit of miscommunication there, I think.
And that was obstruction on the pass, was it? That's given...
A contact call for that one. Just on the body a bit too much.
So the first changeover of possession with no score, and it's Hartpury that therefore preserve their lead at this point in time, 3-2. And finding space so well, these Hartpury women.
That was great defence from Emma by there.
That goalkeeper role, absolutely essential in the game of netball, can make such a big difference if you've got someone who can get themselves between the passer and the receiver the way she did there. Hey?
Yeah, just reading the game so well. Can see it all from the back.
And then does brilliantly. So athletic on the sideline, keeping this play moving forwards. Met now just a couple of passes from the shooting circle. And I just need to get this one into the circle to have the opportunity on goal.
There we go.
And there we go, they level things up. So we'd seen opening scores on either side and no stops, but consecutive, one after the other. Hartpury first and then Cardiff Met, keeping this one at a 3-2 score as Hartpury then go and score another one. Hellerman. Pass made.
That was a lovely play.
A complete contrast to the way we Hartpury have been putting so many passes into their plays to work themselves up the court, and Met just used 3 there and scored.
Yeah, I think that
so
just
easy.
Just shows the hard work of Met's defence, making Hartpury really work for the ball. I feel like the girls are connecting really well. Example right by there. It's just a great connection to have.
Second opportunity on the shot here, and it is taken. And of course the centre pass alternates regardless of who scored the last goal, doesn't it?
Yeah, every other one.
This gives Met the opportunity to try and score 2 in a row. Just that ball being knocked loose, but it stays with Met. And contact made, so there will be another opportunity to shoot, and that one knocked out by Hartpury. I know it's early stages. Cardiff Met do need to be a little bit more efficient on their shots right by the net, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's definitely more a confidence thing. Hartpury seem to have quite a tall defensive circle, but equally we've got a tall shooting circle, so I think just having the faith and belief that they can make those shots and they'll be off.
Sydney Sawyer with the reception there in goal defence.
Yeah, Sydney's a very athletic player. Definitely one to look out for.
Are there any these Hartpury players that you've played against previously that Met need to be wary of?
I feel like the wing attack, Charlotte, she's very quick. She's very precise within movements and very smart with the ball. So, yeah, I feel like she's one to definitely look out for.
Charlotte Steer, one of a number of women on this Hartpury team that plays for Hucklecoats. The shot just missed there by Met. Second opportunity is taken. And, of course, that connection of having a lot of players that play for the same club team and then for the same uni team, so vital in a game where communication is absolutely key.
Yeah, that definitely helps. A lot of the girls are playing in like Cardiff leagues, English Prem leagues. Yeah, it definitely helps build better connections for these Bucks games.
And the underarm pass there, setting up the scoring opportunity. That one just rolls off the ring. But there will be a third opportunity to take the score.
Yeah, it was great support by Sophie there.
Met managing to do so. Well taken by Hartpury and immediately onto the attack. That's an excellent forward pass. Right into space there. And it just gets in the scoring circle. And I mean, it's so much easier to put the ball in the net when you're that much taller than your opposition.
Yeah, she's very fortunate. She's got a lot of height.
And that's Michaela Horton, who is the goal scorer for Hartpury. Which is going to be a threat all afternoon long. Hartpury strike back. And so we are at Met 9, Hartpury 6.
Oh, that was a great take. Oh, very unlucky of football.
So in netball, it's the landing foot. You're then able to take a step onto your other foot, but you've got to pass before your landing foot is placed down again.
Yeah, it's not confusing, but you'll have your landing foot, which you're then able to pivot on, so you can move your other foot. But yeah, if you're going to take off for another step, it's just making sure you don't put that other foot down until you've released the ball.
And for you, Laurel, did you come into netball having played other sports first and then have to get used to not running when you're in possession? As we see Horton go for another shot, and she is successful with that one. Met 10, Hartpury 7. Or was it a skill that you played netball first and so you were always used to?
I did gymnastics, not that I was ever very good at it, but no, I say netball has always really been my main priority sport, so it came quite naturally, to be honest.
Are there any of the girls on the Met team who've come from other sporting backgrounds?
Georgia Hellerman, actually played basketball for Wales. I feel like you can definitely tell that within her play. It helps her a lot, very smart with the ball. Yeah, definitely helps her out.
And that is Hellerman that we see on the ball now. Driven upfield. Well, come backwards to come forwards again. Excellent use of space there.
Yeah, that was a great middle drive. Kira will be extremely happy with that.
And I'm surprised to see Hartpury coming away with the ball there. It looked like there was an arm into our goal shooter pushing her out the way as they both chased after that loose ball.
It can be quite hard to tell between contested and a contact. Depends how 50-50 it is, but umpires see things I'll never understand.
Have you given it a go yourself?
I have.
As Met take the interception?
Absolutely awful, so I do take my hats off to the umpires.
Really well worked once again by Met, and no trouble in the circle. That is another point to their tally. 12-8 their lead now. Hartpury with another opportunity. That ball going out of Met. Well taken. So this first of 2 clashes on the court that we are bringing you today. We would have been showing you the women's basketball match as well, but unfortunately the opposition were unable to fulfill that fixture. So after this, as Met extend their lead back out to 4 points, we will be bringing you the men's basketball as part 2 of Clash on the Court. So don't switch over when this one finishes. Your opportunity to cheer Met on from home and around the campus will continue. And if you are on campus and want to come down and lend your support to the Archers here in the arena, then there are seats available for you to do so. And the Archers are going to need every bit of that home support against this tough Hartpury side. They look to bounce back after scoring, and that's a wonderful interception there from Hartpury.
Yeah, it was very well read.
And Horton pops that one through. Met bring it back to the centre with their lead having been absolutely wiped out by Hartpury. Just the 1 point now. An opportunity to go 2 points ahead once again, and it's well taken. But Hartpury, having been trailing for a while, certainly right back in this one. And getting themselves once again into Met's final third. Strong competition for that ball.
Yeah, it was a very good battle from India. She'll always go for them.
Really putting her body on the line there, and it almost ends up with Met seeing out that Hartpury chance without conceding. But the umpire disagrees. So when you're taking a shot, is it 90 centimetres then that you have to be away, or is it still the 3?
Yeah, that's still the 3 feet. Yeah, 3 feet throughout the whole court.
Good play in final third, Hartpury. We've not had to see them play from quite so deep for a while, needing to make as many passes in that area of the court. They've been good at getting it straight up into the centre third and creating these scoring opportunities. 1 point behind, this would level it just off the ring. Horton managing to make the catch and puts it through. And they will have the throw from the centre as well. This could put them into the lead, but the buzzer goes for quarter time. It is Cardiff Met 14, Hartpury 14, honours even after one period here, and just a 3-minute break for the teams to go in and to discuss that first period. Who do you feel is going to be the most pleased with their performance after that opening 15?
I feel like Hartpury will be very glad to have kept such a close scoreline. They are new into Prem this year. But I also think Met should be pretty happy with how they've connected. I think they've gelled really well, and I think they've had a really strong first quarter.
So with Hartpury new into the Prem this year, that means they're not a team that you have played as much over the last few years?
Personally, I played them in the twos last year, but then they've made a new Prem team, so we currently have Prem 1 and Prem 2. So Hartpury have gone up into Prem 1 this year, so this will be the first time that Met Ones have played them.
Sure, it's got all the makings of an historic rivalry. Two of the sporting powerhouses of the west of England and Wales, and a number of the teams actually in the top level of Bucks from the southwest and from Wales, with Bristol and Exeter in there as well. Both teams that have been beaten by Hartpury and by Met so far this season. Hartpury, their only loss coming against Bath, who Met are yet to play. You played them here today for the twos, with the pedigree of that Bath side, with the success that they've had. What's it like when you go to Bath and you have to face them on their home court?
Bath are obviously a very strong team. They're very gelled, but I think Met Ones will give them a really good run. It'll definitely be a really good battle. Obviously, there are varsity side as well, so that is always really good to watch every year. But I think it'll be a really good contest.
The whistle going from the umpires to bring the players back on court and get this second period underway. And we're just looking to see whether Met have made any changes at quarter time, or whether they're going with the same starting 7. When they take up their positions on the court, Larry's just going to give us a run through of the 7.
So they've kept defence the same. Emma Grant in goalkeeper, India Still in goal defence, and co-captain Izzy Claxton wing defence. Kept the same. Alana in the middle, Georgia at wing attack, Catherine Mansfield at goal attack, and Sophie Jackson in shooter. I think it's a smart idea to keep it the same. Let the consistency run.
Met with the first opportunity of this second period as they look to restore their lead, and they do. 15-14. Hartpury will play it back at them. Lovely pass right up towards the edge of the scoring circle. And despite the attentions of the defence, Hartpury able to level things up. And a good goal there from Cardiff, Matt. Really quick distribution here from Hartpury.
Oh, great contest from Emma there.
She'll be delighted with that. Managing to close out that Hartpury attack without conceding. But immediately, Hartpury will get the ball back. That one's gone over the sideline, off a Met hand. So they will get the opportunity to tie things up once again. Just dropping the ball off there, and Horton not able to hang on to that one. The umpire will give her the ball back. 16-16. And Heath Drury finding Hellerman. Back over to Claxton, and Hellerman once again dropping that ball off. into the scoring circle go Hartpury. 17-17. Long pass not able to be held on to by Jackson. That opportunity going begging for Met, and every single one will count in the end. I can't see this game ending with more than a couple of scores between the two sides. Despite their form coming into this one, both sides, when they've won, they have won well and won comfortably. And then when they've lost, it's also been by a reasonable margin. So they haven't necessarily been in a really close one that's lasted the whole game through. So we'll see whether this match stays just as close. As Hellerman takes an excellent catch there. This match stays as close through the full 60 as it has been with the opening quarter and a bit. 1 point lead restored for Met.
That was a really good shutdown on centre pass there from our defence. Great pressure.
Short passing there, managing to create the space and draw the defenders away. And it felt like every single one of the Hartpury attackers had quite a lot of space around them there as they received the ball.
Yeah, I think that just shows how hard Met worked then to force that turnover.
This an opportunity to go 2 points ahead for the first time this period. Still with Met, still the opportunity, and on the third attempt they do restore a 2 point lead, which could go up to 3 here. Coming back into the defensive third. The centre ground really shut off by this Hartpury defence, making Met have to work incredibly hard. Look for the options. Good use of space there though, and they work their way up and get the score there to hit 20. Met 20, Hartpury 17.
Yeah, that was a very good centre pass from Met there. They were very patient with the ball. I think they definitely work best when they're patient, so that worked out.
The umpire just moving Hartpury forward there after the centre pass. What was that for?
I think I missed that, but if it was an advancement, there are the new rules this year. So they've got rid of the caution and it's gone straight to a warning. So you'll get proactive advice. You'll have an advancement. So the penalty can be moved up to half a third. Okay. So that's quite a dangerous one, especially if you are in the goal third. That was really good work from our defence there as well. Shut
that down brilliantly. So that advancement rule can be given anywhere on the court?
Yeah, anywhere on the court. If you have a penalty called in the goal third, the advancement can be moved up into the shooting circle.
And Met going coast to coast there. The fantastic shutdown in defence all the way up to the other end. Really strong interlinking between Hellerman and Jackson led to the goal, and 4 points is the margin now between these two teams. Given how close they are, that is a sizable lead that Hartpury are now having to chase down, especially when Met turn it into 5 points. Huge momentum swing these last few minutes. Keeping moving here though, Hartpury. And Horton calmly as anything pops that one through the hoop. Straight back the other way. 5 point lead restored. Horton. And just take me through as a goalkeeper or goal defence. What what are you able to do inside that scoring circle, especially when you are against a goal shooter or a goal attacker that's taller than you? What weapons do you have at your disposal to try and put them off their shot, try and block that shot?
I'd say a key is to just keep moving. A tall shooter, 9 times out of 10, will just want to hold. They like to find body. So keep your feet going, get around them, push them out, hold them to the back line. That would be probably their worst nightmare. So definitely just make sure, keep them active.
Met, for the first time in a while, unable to score on a possession. So with the margin at 4, Hartpury have an opportunity to pin it down even further. That's going to be a call for contact there. And even more so. I mean, this is meant to be a non-contact sport, isn't it, Larry? But these two teams so desperate to win, they are more than happy to get in one another's way.
Yeah, whoever said that netball was a non-contact sport has clearly never played netball.
I know a few non-contact sports that are like that.
Yeah.
More in word than action. Hartpury will maintain possession. Gap back down to 3. We've seen them use that pass a few times now, just dropping the ball off for a teammate to scoop it up off the ground. They've worked their way really well back into this. Met need to stop the rot. They need to get the next score and start moving back away from Hartpury.
Lovely ball from Alana there.
Good score from Jackson. We mentioned earlier we've got a few players in this side in India and Georgia. Fortunately, they're not playing, but who have been involved with Wales. But also, there are players that have been involved with the Cardiff Dragons and with Beth, I believe, on this Cardiff Met team. What's it like with the Netball Super League having undergone some changes this year? Some teams that have stopped playing, some new teams that have come in. What's it like having such a high level competitive league to aim for as a young netballer at the top of your game?
I'd say competitive is definitely the right word. If it wasn't competitive at the start, it is definitely now. I think it's really good for the sport. It's really exciting. Especially allowing it to go professional. Obviously, Super League teams being only 10 players, so them using the under-23s team as a feeder team, I think is really exciting, especially for younger players. It's allowing a bit more exposure.
So we see those basketball skills from Hellerman, throwing herself athletically into the air to keep that ball in on the court, and then she's on the spot for the interception.
Very lucky.
Got to be good to be lucky, though. She certainly was there. Met maintaining possession. Sawyer just knocks that one back over the goal line. And a good score by the goal attack. Hartpury, a good score there. Nice high lofted ball. One that the Met defence could do nothing about. Heath Drury, it's the opposite number, decides to go back first. Hellerman. Sawyer feeds it back in field. Met really making Cardiff, making Hartpury work here in their defensive third. and forcing the turnover as well.
Yeah, that was really great work from Met there, setting up a little zone. It really paid off.
Sawyer making life very hard for Jackson and Mansfield in that scoring circle at the moment.
Good strength from Soph there as well.
And that is an important role that Sawyer is playing for Hartpury. She's a big admirer of Shamira Sterling, and then also a big fan of the West Coast Fever, involved with Birmingham Panthers herself in the Super League. That pass goes astray from Hartpury. The 3-point margin maintained. Met looking to work their way up court quickly. What a great overhead pass that was.
Absolute launch. I think Kira's just had an absolute heart attack on the bench.
Another good score from Cardiff Met. And in a game as fast and athletic as this one's turning out to be, what kind of role is that bench going to play as we go through the game?
It's definitely great for fresh legs, especially in a game like this. Hartpury being a very quick team, so fresh legs are always nice. Even just support as well. The girls shouting from the bench, it does so much more than I think people tend to think. So yeah, that'd be a great benefit.
Horton just managing to keep that landing foot in the scoring circle and gets the goal for Hartpury. Changeover. Straight back into an attacking position. Go Hartpury. Well launched.
Oh, great tip by Izzy there.
So it's Met that's going to come away with this one as the buzzer goes. Half-time in this first clash on the court. Cardiff Met 31, Hartpury 28. So the home team taking a 3-point lead into the break. It was level at quarter time. So a really good period from Met. They were at points in that period. They were up by 5 points, but they end it up by 3. They'll be really pleased with that.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I think they should be really pleased. They're playing really well. Their defence is really strong. They're connecting really well in the attack. They're sighting Sophie and its shooter perfectly. I think they should be really happy with how they've done so far. And I think it's just a good chance for them to keep pushing on now.
And as for Hartpury, what do you think are the discussions that they're going to be having on their bench in this break?
I can imagine theirs just being probably more tactically, especially Met sort of trying to set up a defensive zone. They'll need someone to break that down, come really high up through the middle for a long ball to draw our Met defenders away, but possibly something more technical.
Well, what a first half that's been. End-to-end action, fast-paced, a high-scoring game. I think that's everything we expected to see today between two really, really good teams. I'm joined here with Met TV sport correspondent Georgie Haynes. How did you think the first half's gone on?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first half. I think the scores, Met are just nipping it in the bud at the moment, but I think they could bring it back. So it's a close game, but I think Met are going to stay strong.
Are we expecting the high scoring to continue, the end-to-end action, or do you think the game will slow down just a little bit?
No, I definitely think we're going to keep a quick pace game. I think the high goal scoring, keeping people entertained, and yeah, it's been a great atmosphere in here today. Clash on the court's been a really fun event.
Yeah, definitely. The atmosphere has been pretty electric, I would say. It's a shame. I think I'd like to see a few more people down here. It's definitely one of those events that I would certainly like to get involved in. And definitely, I think it's an event that is really important for us down here at Cardiff Met to take part in. For the netball, then, what other netball teams? Because it's not just the ones here today against Hartpury. There's a whole load of other netball teams playing today, especially some against Cardiff Uni, a local derby, is it?
Yeah, we've got a few local derbies on today. I definitely know that the netball thirds and the netball sixes have the netball thirds have played. The netball sixes are yet to come tonight. I think it's 6 p.m. So that's really exciting. Always a big game as well. Cardiff Uni, Cardiff Met, big rivalry. So it's going to be, hopefully good fun and really nice to see like Cardiff Uni being played across the teams, not just first, always playing Cardiff Uni, also other teams.
Definitely. Well, we're definitely hoping Met win all of those games. With the netball, though, there's been some news in the last week or so about the Commonwealth. Now, the Commonwealth Games are taking part now in 2026 in Glasgow. Obviously, there's a slight change around with that. Can you explain why now in Glasgow after the controversy that's surrounded the event?
So yeah, it was supposed to be in Australia previously, but they've had to pull out. So Glasgow have taken over, they have come and saved the day, which is really exciting. Also great to be in the UK, so great for us sporting fans. And netball is fortunately in the Commonwealth this year, which is really exciting for these girls. I know some of the Met girls are going to hopefully be able to get to the Commonwealth Games, which is really exciting, really cool for them. What a great opportunity. I think as well, it's disappointing for other sports though, because Glasgow don't have the facilities for all of the sports. So I know that hockey has been taken out, and that is also another big one at Met. And I know there's a lot of disappointment surrounding the hockey team, so yeah.
Well, I think we've actually got a little VT. I went out, obviously Georgie said what events have been dropped, haven't. I went out and found out in this VT you'll see next. Commonwealth Games is back on track and it's back in the UK. It was supposed to be in Australia in the state of Victoria, but Glasgow have stepped up to save the day. Good news, do you think? These games will not be bigger and better than the Birmingham Games of 2022. In fact, they will be much, much smaller. Glasgow will be the host 10 years after they last held the Games in 2014. 10 sports have been chosen, but 21 months before it even starts, there are already winners and losers. At Glasgow 2026, there will be no rugby sevens, no triathlon, no badminton, no squash, no table tennis and no hockey.
Probably one of the main sort of disappointments or frustration around it is the fact that it is very much a shop window. I spoke to someone a few weeks ago and they literally said like the one time that we see hockey in mainstream coverage, BBC and so on, is at Commonwealth Games and at Olympics, right?
Games officials are saying the scaled down, streamlined event is based on facilities, infrastructure, sustainability and cost. But there will be swimming and para-swimming, there's track cycling and para-track cycling, 3x3 basketball and para-basketball, and as always, athletics and para-athletics will take centre stage.
I know how special it is to compete in the Commonwealth Games as an athlete, also as a coach, and therefore not being able to take part will be soul destroying for some. Also, it might impact their funding, short term, long term. So I mean, everything we can do maybe for the next Games in 2030 to get those sports back, because it's Commonwealth Games family, and those activities and sports are families to the Commonwealth Games. So if we can get that back as full, then I feel like the Commonwealth Games were where they should be.
One sport relieved to make the cut is netball, meaning young Welsh players like Georgia Hellerman, currently playing for Wales under-21s, can still dream about being a Commonwealth athlete.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that it's going to be in the 2026 Commonwealth Games. I think it's a great opportunity for young girls like myself to be able to look forward to something in the future and to keep pushing on, and yeah, I think it'll be an exciting opportunity for us younger girls.
The 2026 Games has been given a lifeline by Glasgow. However, the 2030 Games, a centenary celebration of the event, is coming under immense scrutiny. Who knows what sports will be scrapped or where the event will take place? Is the Commonwealth Games a concept? Running out of time.
We are back underway in the second half of this one. It's an incredibly engrossing match between Cardiff Met and Hartpury. that has seen the two teams be almost inseparable throughout, but Met then taking a 3-goal lead into half-time. They've managed to add one to that while you were away. Any changes at half-time we can see?
Not that I can see. There was a rolling sub change in the first quarter where Jones has gone to goal defence and then Sydney Sawyers has gone into goalkeeper, but they've kept it the same for another quarter.
Sawyer's frustrated there. She thought that she'd managed to shut down that Met attack as Hellerman feeds that into Jackson, and Jackson will take Met into a 5-point lead. As the ball goes back up the field, Heath Drury at centre to Hellerman. And on now to... back to Heath Drury. And Jackson, Mansfield with the shot herself. And a 6-point lead represents the biggest margin that we have had between these two teams. Hartpury very pleased to get their hands back on the ball through Main. And now on to Colette. Colette needing to just feed that ball into the centre circle, which she does well. So Steer feeding it through to Colette, and Colette getting the point. 35-30 in Met's favour. Sawyers with a fantastic intervention, but it ends up back in the hands of Jackson. And now Heath Drury looking for options. Only got 3 seconds on that ball. Remember, Sawyers playing a blinder right now as goalkeeper.
Yeah, she's definitely one to watch. Very athletic. She might not have the height in the circle, but her jump definitely makes up for it.
Key change, really, that Hartpury have made. And to be able to just shift positions on the court like that, rather than having to bring someone on the bench, means you still got those fresh legs for later on.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what's so good about depth in team, is having the depth on the bench. So if a player is struggling, if something's not working, you know it's not going to take 5-10 minutes for a combination to start working.
Well, some linking up between Claxton and Hellerman, the co-captains of this team, before Jackson restores that 6-point lead. Main. Passing it forward to Colette. Steer, can she find Horton? She can. Steer, a sports science student. Many of these players on both sides are studying a variety of sport-related undergraduate or postgraduate degrees. Some taking the opportunity to study a Masters to give them another year playing for their team. They're that devoted to the team, as Hartpury get a really good turnover there in the centre third. And Heath Drury on to Steer, and then a bit of link-up play between the two of them. Contact there. And that's gone Hartpury's way. Looking at that, I would have thought that would have gone the other way. But what's the umpire seen there that I haven't?
Yeah, I always find it quite hard to judge. Umpires just have eyes everywhere. How they do it, I have no idea. But yeah, it was unfortunate for Met, but they just need to dig deep now, stay really hard on defence, and just force an error.
Steer looking for support, finds it in the form of Main, and that's a good goal by Colette, co-captain of this team, along with Main at centre. Colette plays for Bristol Romans, so she's got to travel a little bit to play for her club side. Still based in the West Country, but not one of the Hucklecoat number in this Hartpury team, as Hellerman plays that forward well to Mansfield.
Yeah, that was a lovely ball from Georgia. I think that's definitely her specialty. She'll love a 1-2, play herself to the edge, and then she'll just pop it over the top, but it works.
No options there for Steer. Main on hand, as she so often is, for that ball to be played back to her, and sets up the attack. Straight back down the other end, and again Sawyers involved defensively. And you've got to say, if Hartpury managed to shut down Met on the attack and take this one out, it will be in no small part to the work Sawyers has been doing back in that defensive third.
Oh yeah, she's doing so much for them. She's shutting down so much of Met. But I think Met just need to make sure they're adapting to that. They're realising that ball can't go and making Sydney work. So
opportunity for Hartpury to double up on the scores. They got that one in, and then they had the centre pass and a straight back to Horton, and she scores once again. Back down to a 3-point gap between these two teams. But you would not know how long they've been playing for. You would not know how many passes they've made and shots they've taken with the intensity that Met looked to go back at Hartpury there. The attack in the end comes to nothing. So Hartpury, the opportunity to go coast to coast and reduce this lead even further. Bullet pass coming in there. Main to Colette, and from range, she's not able to sink that one through, but Horton on hand to take it on the rebound.
Tactical change here.
Yeah, so Hellerman moving to centre, and then Heath Drury heading to the bench.
Yeah, we've got Sydney Palmer who's just come on. She'll probably just change up the way that Met are going to play. Sid's a very short and sharp player.
And now we see Hellerman in that centre role. Palmer on the ball fairly immediately after that change. Jackson. She's really grown into her shooting through this game. It looked to be a few nerves in the opening couple of minutes where she wasn't quite able to execute on the baskets, but since then she's been nearly flawless.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always quite nerve-wracking coming into a big game like this especially. But yeah, it always settles with time, and she's doing really well with it.
She did say before the game that her ultimate sporting ambition was to smash Hartpury. And she's certainly working her way towards that. There were a couple of Hartpury players that did say to me when I was chatting to them before the game that their sporting ambition was to beat Met, but none of them used the word smash the way that Jackson did.
Super passionate.
Oh. Luckily missing, and I can tell you there were quite a few gasps all around the court there.
Very close call.
Calmly taken. Back to Main at centre. Met 40, Hartpury 38. Fed forward really well. Horton just on the edge of that scoring circle. Whistle goes. And so has that goal been ruled out by the umpire there?
No, I think the whistle was just to let them know that it was a goal. I think there were a few heads turned looking for a contact call or an obstruction call.
1 point margin, Hartpury on the ball. Fed forwards really well to Colette. And over the top to Horton. Levels things up. That is the first time in a while that Hartpury have been tied with Met, and the opportunity now to go into a first lead that they'll have had since the first period. While it has seesawed between being a deadlock game and a narrow lead for Met, one thing Met can say is that they have always been just in the ascendancy on the scoreboard, but not the case now. Horton makes it Hartpury 41, Cardiff Met 40. Hellerman finding Jackson. Back in to Mansfield.
Yeah, that was a very good centre pass from Met there. It was very strong.
Yeah, wasting no time playing in the parts of the court where they can't score, straight up to where they can. A calm goal. Horton puts Hartpury back in the lead. That's it. That's Sydney Palmer's pass, knocked over the sideline by Hartpury. Hartpury initially looked frustrated, like they weren't going to get the ball, but then they have in the end from the umpire's call.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a miscommunication about whose call it actually was.
Penalty called for Hartpury.
Yeah, Met just really need to dig deep now, keep strong on their defence and make Hartpury work really hard.
So we see Jones involved much further up the court than we've seen her for a while. And Hartpury going into a 2-point lead.
Got Catherine Mansfield who's just come off, and then Trinity Langer's just come on.
Opportunity now for Hartpury. Great shot.
Yeah, that was
from
very
Colette.
lovely.
Palmer.
Oh, so unlucky. It was such a great centre channel drive from Trin there.
First time we've seen her in action this evening. This second-year psychology student, one of the younger players in the team. Hellerman trying to find options, and she does find it in Lango and then makes herself one immediately after that. Interception coming in from Jones, but straight back to Hellerman. Play goes on for Met into the scoring circle. Sawyer's not able to put off Jackson there. 2 points behind now, Met, 44-42. Deep into this third period, searching for a way to restore the lead that they've held for so much of this game. We always knew it was going to be a close contest, two incredibly talented teams. But Met will dearly hope that they can be sending Hartpury home empty-handed and work themselves towards the top of the Bucks table. Lango in an excellent position there to receive that one, works it backwards. Palmer, his fresh legs important for Met. On again to Lango, good communication and an opportunity for Jackson that she takes.
Yeah, that was really well sighted from Trin there. And like we were saying about fresh legs, it's so important. Trin will just change up the game again. Different combinations, different styles of play. Trin is very quick as well. She will like to play herself a 1-2 into the shooting circle.
Met seeing out that Hartpury attack. That is absolutely crucial. They cannot go score for score for the rest of this game. They have to get some back-to-back, and that is what they're aiming to do here. Lango under a lot of pressure, catches that and then delivers perfectly for Jackson. Not able to get the goal herself. Palmer is there, and Jackson makes no mistake on the second attempt. Sure, Palmer's skills as a sports conditioning, rehab and massage student are going to come in handy following this game. The girls working so hard on the Met team. Hartpury, though, tearing them open through the middle to give Horton this opportunity on goal. She takes just before we have the three-quarter time buzzer. So, tied after one. It was Met leading by 3 after 2. And now with 1 period to go, Hartpury leading by 2 points, 46-44. So whatever it was that they were talking about on that Hartpury bench at half-time, it has certainly worked for the girls. They have they've done exactly what their coach would have asked of them, a 5-point turnaround in that third period. Just 15 minutes to go. 2 points in it. Still winnable for Cardiff, Met?
Yeah, definitely. They'll dig deep now. Like we were saying, still fresh legs on the bench. There's still lots of different combinations that can be tried. And I think Met will use this to their advantage and realise that they do need to dig deep and just push on now.
And you're a leader yourself, you're captain of that seconds team. What would you be saying to your players right now in the huddle with just 15 minutes to play?
They seem to have gone quite quiet on the court, so just calling each other, telling each other where to go, uplifting each other, and definitely just trying to break down Hartpury's style of play, try and see what they're doing, where it's breaking down for Hartpury, and keep picking at that, keep pushing that. Just a lot of positivity. I know they can do it, so they just need to push on.
And Grant and Still are going to have a huge role to play defensively to make sure that Hartpury don't extend this lead as we open up the final period. It's really important that Cardiff Met start strongly, close down that lead, and then kick on from there. But that starts with Grant, starts with Still.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've Emma's new into the one squad this year. She came up from the twos. But they've gelled really well. They work really well together. They complement each other. If one misses, the next one will pick it up. So I think that's a really important connection to have on the court.
And there's a number of players in the side whose ambition is to play for the Welsh senior team. Of the players here today, Izzy Thomas and Georgia Hellerman are two of them who have been involved at age grade level. If they were to get to the level of playing for the Welsh senior side, they're obviously going to come up against opposition that give them really tight, tough contests like this. But what does it mean for you as a netball player and for the girls out there with the news this week about the sports that are going to be included at the Commonwealth Games and aren't in 2026? And netball, vitally, is one of those sports that is going to be included. So the opportunity to represent Wales on a world stage is still there for those players.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. I think it is really the push that netball needed. Having such a major sport not involved in competitions like that, but it definitely gives people a goal to push for, and I think that's really nice to have.
Horton looking set to put Hartpury into a 3-point lead to start this final period. Under 15 minutes for Cardiff Met to overturn that deficit if they want to take the win here today. Jackson scores with Met's first attempt of the period. And Met looking, they obviously made those two changes in the third period, but otherwise looking unchanged on the court here, as are Hartpury. So I think Hartpury's not used any of their subs, have they?
No, they've got plenty of fresh legs still on the bench.
So that could be a real threat for Met as we head towards the closing minutes. Right now, they'll want to run as hard as possible against what may be some tiring legs on the Hartpury side. Not that you could tell it from the way they're playing. Palmer. Played back and a little bit of contact there. Hellerman. That one just dribbling over the top of the net from Lango. Frustrating for Met. They need to get this one back. Sawyers once again with that incredible vertical jump that she's got. Jones drops that one off. Hartpury somehow cling on to it. Main on to Steer. Those two know one another's game inside out. Barely have to look at one another to know where the other one is to get that pass on point. Main. Horton. Starting to give Grant some troubles in that scoring circle. 4 points the margin now. Hartpury 49, Met 45. And once again, it's Horton just turning on that landing foot. Biggest lead that Hartpury's had. 50-45. The noise level goes up a notch. Met need to find a way back into this one, and it's not going to be through loose passes like that. Jones, who's once again Main. Again Jones. To Colette. Steer. What can she do to get this ball into the scoring circle? Grant completely closing down the options there. And so Hartpury have to go all the way back towards the centre third, and that ball bouncing over the sideline and nearly into broadcast booth here. Just about everything holding together so we can keep bringing you this game live. Main to Steer. Colette drops it on the court for Main to pick up, and then works her way into scoring zone.
Yeah, that was really well worked by Hartpury there. They were very patient. Met's defence was very tight. You had Grant in the circle, making the shooter work, keeping away from ball side.
Hartpury penalised there, not able to get what would have been the score to give them a 7-point lead, and that pass just too much on it, unfortunately, from Claxton. You can see how frustrated she is with that. She turns to walk back defensively, but an excellent interception from Lango onto Hellerman. Back now to Claxton. So it was still just before who put in that long ball, not Claxton.
Yeah, she does like to look for those.
Met not able to score on that play. The margin remains at 6. A lofted pass there, perfectly weighted for Colette. Steele with a little step. No trouble there from Colette. Met 45, Hartpury 52, and Hellerman at 2 still, working around to create space for her teammates to pass the ball into. And this is going to stay with Met. A vitally important shot now for Jackson. You would not know that Met were chasing this game with how calmly she has slotted that goal.
Calm and composed.
Hartpury just looked to have so much energy in attack at the moment, still jumping all around the court. So many fast passes. Great runs like that from Steer. On to Horton. Seven-point lead restored. Hellerman, excellent use of the space down that left flank. Lango not able to put that one through, but she's going to have another opportunity. Goal scored, Met 47, Hartpury 53.
It was a good shutdown by there on their centre pass.
Really strong. Hartpury work it over the right-hand side, and Horton not able to hold out onto that one. Hellerman, and now onto Still.
Yeah, that was a great pickup. They just really need to use this now, be patient with the ball.
Excellent stuff. Palmer to Lango. Jackson managing to collect that as it rolls off the hoop and put it in. 5 points between the two teams. Met with the centre pass once again.
Oh, so unlucky for Sid. Just a foot fault call.
That's a great chance to take 2 points off Hartpury in a row. Main.
Oh, great
yes.
arms.
Grant has done exceptionally well there. A critical moment in the match. She's there for the interception. And Met maintain possession, moving up the court here.
Yeah, Met really needed that turnover, so that was really well done from Emma.
Claxton to Hellerman, co-captain to co-captain. Sawyer's making a nuisance of herself once again. But doesn't quite get her team the ball. Lango. That one bounces off the ring and into the arms of Sawyers. Interception from Jackson. Not given, so she was just too close there, was she?
Yeah, it looked like an obstruction call by there. We might be seeing another one from Sid here as well. Great defense from Georgia.
She's done really well. Important moment in the match. Finds Jackson, as Jones unfortunately had a slip there defensively, and that just opened up the passing avenue for Hellerman to fire that one through to Jackson.
Yeah, that was a great ball from Georgia.
Jones, her and the odd socks and the odd trainers.
Yeah, very bright.
Odd as in not matching rather than they look odd. I don't want anyone to think I'm criticising her on-court fashion choices. As Horton puts that one through. She has done so many times in this match.
It's another rolling sub here, so Catherine Mansfield's come back on at goal attack.
A good shift from Lango. She injected some really good energy at a point when Met needed it.
Very high energy player. She did really well to open up the space.
Sawyers knocks that one out of the hands of Jackson over the goal line, so possession will be maintained by Met. Work that one back to Palmer. And then Mansfield once again. A little bit of time on the bench, doing her well. Shooting absolutely on point there. It's a contact for penalty. A penalty for contact going the way of Hartpury.
Yeah, a bit of a shove from Izzy Claxton by there.
And once again, in the scoring zone, that's going to give Horton comfortable shots on goal. At 50, Hartpury 55.
Yeah, I think the key for Met now is to just make sure they are still driving full ball. They're still keeping the energy high, as well as keeping their heads high.
Hellerman onto Mansfield, Jackson.
It's a great setup, really well sighted.
They have to make a stop here though, Matt. They have to trim this lead down. Can't let Hartpury get back up to 5 ahead. Certainly limiting the options that Hartpury have to work their way down the court.
Yeah, this is really great defense from Met here.
Hartpury showing good patience though. And that one trickles out over the goal line.
So unlucky for Emma as well, just taking a touch to that before it went out of court.
Can understand why. She wants to get that ball back and up court to her teammates. That's why she went for it after it missed.
Definitely.
51-56. Good take by Mansfield. Good goal by Mansfield. 4 points in it. Just 2.5 to play.
Another really good defensive setup from Met once again. Sending Hartpury back.
Hartpury managing, though, to work it up towards the scoring chance, which they take. Yeah, that defence working really well in this fourth period for Met. That turnaround that Hartpury were able to conjure in the third period, just proving to be a little bit too insurmountable at the moment. We're inside the final two. It's Met 53, Hartpury 57. They have to get an interception here, do Met, and Hartpury will know that, so they won't be in too much of a rush to work this ball up the court.
Great tip from India. She'll be really pleased with that.
Here we go for Met. Chance on goal. Sawyers with the lunge. And in the end, it's Mansfield that puts it through. Just 3 points between them. A quick score needed here from Met. They've already got it to Jackson. They have got the score. It is within 2. Inside the final minute, however. Is this going to be too late for Met? Has Hartpury's passing play proved to be too much for the Archers? And that one just knocked out over the goal line by Still. So Hartpury do maintain possession into the closing seconds. Again, Hartpury not able to execute on the shot.
Oh, no. Oh, that was so unfortunate.
I think Grant maybe thought the whistle was going to go. So didn't pick up that ball, and in the end, Hartpury do score just before the buzzer. And that is a tough loss for Cardiff Met to take, and we'll talk about them more in just a moment. But first of all, an excellent win by Hartpury. We talked about Sawyers and her role defensively, closing down those chances for Met. But it was that third period where they came alive. They overturned a 3-point half-time deficit into a 2-point three-quarter time lead, which they extended in this fourth period. Deserved winners.
Oh, yeah, they did. They played very well. Sawyer's definitely been the key player for Hartpury there. The amount she turned over and the high energy she had through the whole game, there was nothing you could do about it. She was just everywhere. But yeah, very well done to Hartpury.
And for Cardiff Met, they've got Exeter up next away, so a tough trip down to the southwest, and without their home support, they're going to be frustrated. They've lost to Hertfordshire, lost to Hartpury in consecutive games, but sorry, not consecutive games, but 2 losses so far this season. How do they bounce back for that away trip to make sure that they pick up the win down in Exeter?
I think they're very good at bouncing back. We'll just go into training on Friday, new mindset, look at maybe what didn't work so well, but also really look at the positives, because there were some really great passages of play from Met. But yeah, just go into training really strong Friday and Tuesday, and then just look for a really big week ahead for Wednesday.
So a first home loss of the season for Cardiff Met means they are 2-2 on this one. As Hartpury march on, they have cemented their place towards the top of the Bucks table this season, just Bath above them, and they will have an enjoyable trip back across the Severn Bridge celebrating that one. That's if they choose not to spend their Halloween night out down in Cardiff. We know it's a good night out here in the capital. But thank you for your insight through the afternoon, Lorraine. To everyone watching along at home, we hope that you will stick around for the men's basketball that we will be bringing you. Tip-off in that one is 5:30, but the programme will be going live about 15 minutes before that. So a win here for Hartpury, 58-55 over Met. As we say, Met's next game away to Exeter. And we will look forward to the next time that we see them at home, as well as to you joining us again for the basketball tip-off in just 45 minutes.
Well, a fantastic game of netball here today, with Hartpury ending up winning by 3 points, 58-55. I'm actually joined here with Jess Shaw, the Hartpury captain, with a couple of questions for you, if that's all right. Firstly, how do you reflect on a game like that today, where it's very close, Cardiff Met in the lead at points, and then obviously, mostly in the last quarter as well, you really stepped it up again. Was that some part of the game plan? Or?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be a close, contested game when we come here, and we knew that heading to here today. And I think the girls just kind of stuck with it, and we said to them at half-time, we just need to keep going and take our turnover through, because that's who's going to come out on top on that. And I think the girls did that, and they just dug really deep, and we've had a few close games over the last couple of weeks, and I think that's just played into this game today.
And was that sort of things you worked on during the week to kind of weaken Cardiff's Met's attack, and was that sort of the things working through in the week that was made apparent here today?
Yeah, I think we've been focusing very much on our own, like ourselves at the moment, just kind of making sure we keep possession in attack and then just turn over ball in defence. And I think this week actually we did work on a few like 30 seconds to goal or 15 seconds that we need to get it to goal, and that happened in a couple of the quarters today, so yeah.
And obviously getting promoted last season, what have you made of the difference in quality between the Bucks 1 and Bucks 2?
Yeah, obviously got the promotion into Prem 1 and the girls, the step up for the girls I think has been a bit of a shock at times, but I think they really took it kind of under their belt, and like they've been the few games that we've had, we've come out with some really good results, and I think they just needed to get used to the intensity, because it has been a big step up. But the way the girls are performing, yeah, I'm just really proud of them.
Yeah, definitely, it was a fantastic performance. Going on into the next game is obviously the momentum you want to continue, because you obviously sat here second, level on points with Bath as well.
Yeah, I think for us, at the start of the season was aiming to obviously stay within the league and not get, and we've done that with some of the games that we've performed, and I feel like we've got real momentum going into the last couple of games, and we've got Bristol at home next week, which hopefully we can take that game as well. But yeah, it's just staying focused on ourselves, training hard, and just keeping with the basics to hopefully get the results.
Perfect, that's all I've got for you. Thank you very much. Good luck for the rest of the season. So, as we saw here, that was the Hartpury captain, Jess Shaw, speaking on what was, in the end, a pretty close but comfortable victory for Hartpury. We also have Georgia Hellerman coming through, the Wales under-21 captain, also Met's under-20, well, also Met's netball player as well. Hi Georgia, obviously a tough loss there, but quite a close one. Was there anything that you could take away from the performance despite the defeat?
Yeah, I think we just need to be smart with the ball. We gave away too many errors, and yeah, they capitalised it on a lot. But yeah, next time we just need to have no error rate.
Oh, sorry, I do apologise for that. We had to get off the court. The basketball is about to get underway as well. However, obviously with the defeat today, how do you move forwards into your next game?
Yeah, I just think it's just lower error rate. We just gave the ball away too often, and they then capitalised on it, and they were just the better team today.
And also, in terms of your own performance, how do you think you did out there today?
I did out there. Me. I gave away some silly errors, but as captain I just try and keep the team calm, especially when it's a close game like that. In the first half I thought we were much better. We were slow, calm, keeping the ball, and then just as the game went on then we weren't doing that, so I think I need to step up a bit more as captain and be a bit more calmer and keep our girls ahead in the game, so just something to learn on next time.
I mean, it is very self-critical. I mean, if the scoreline suggests, you know, it was actually more of a close game than what everyone thought. However, the rest of the season, what are the aims? You're looking to push higher up the table and see how far you can go?
Yeah, I know we could have won that game today, so we know they went to Hartpury last week, and we could have come at Hartpury a bit more as well, so it's just about silly little errors that we're doing, and if we keep on learning from those errors, then I reckon we'll get higher and higher in the table, and we'll hopefully get first.
Perfect. Well, that's everything. Thank you very much for joining us. So that's the netball done for today. Obviously a disappointing loss for Cardiff Met today. Remember to follow Cardiff Met Sport TV across all social media platforms to keep you right up to date with whatever's going around on campus and off campus. I've been Will Richards. This has been the Archers Arena for the Netball Wands. Unfortunately, Cardiff Met lost 55-58. We do have the basketball up next for you, and that's everything for here today. Thank you for joining.
At Archers Arena, the battle begins. First, netball. Fast, fierce, unrelenting. Every second counts. Then, women's basketball. Strength, precision, passion. Nothing held back. Finally, men's basketball. Explosive, dominating. Game-changing moments that will leave you breathless. 3 games, 1 day, 1 arena. This is Clash on the Court.
Hey, okay, I know I'm here to stay. Counting on my wins, so I can't play it safe. Try to go against us, get you out the way. Go hard, it's the only way to play. Let me say, I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. Hey, look.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Joe Towns and I'm the Programme Director of the Sport Broadcast Master's Degree. The Sport Broadcast MSc is all about live production skills, sports broadcast journalism and content creation, whether that's for social media, for podcasts, long-form documentaries or short-form TikTok. On the Sport Broadcast Master's Degree, we try and cover every possible role that you could find in the contemporary sports media industry. We want our students to be prepared for all of them, whether that's behind the camera, directing, producing, editing, operating replays, directing a live stream, or if it's on screen, reporting, presenting, commentating. We've designed this course as the perfect stepping stone into the sport broadcast media industry. In terms of broadcast facilities, we have a fully equipped Adobe Lab, which is our newsroom, a TV news gallery, a radio room, brand new podcast studio, and out on the sports fields we have gantries and galleries so that we can live stream football and rugby every week. This course is a practical course, it's hands-on, it's vocational. We really pride ourselves that we're trying to create students that are multi-skilled and ready to take their career in any direction when they leave us. The big advantage of running this course on this campus here at Cardiff Met is that there is elite sport every week, whether that's Wednesday as part of the Bucks competition or so many of our teams play in National League sporting competitions on the weekend. On a Wednesday afternoon, our students could be directing a live stream of Bucks Super Rugby, they might be filming highlights for a live football match, presenting a radio show, making a podcast, or doing a live TV Up the Archer sports preview show. As well as weekly Bucks fixtures, we also cover some really big events on campus, whether that's our varsity day against Bath University.
It's Cardiff Clash. Cardiff Met versus Cardiff University.
Clash on the Court, a triple header in the Archers Arena where we show netball, women's basketball, men's basketball, or the Cardiff Met Sports Awards, a massive event in a hotel in the city where we do all of the VTs and production for what is a brilliant way to round off the year. Across the city and across Wales, we have some very well established relationships with the industry, so our students have opportunities the whole year long to go out on placements. If you're a Welsh speaker,
Shwmae a chroeso I benod arall o Work the Archer.
Then we allow all students to submit any of their coursework in the medium of Welsh. We also have some fantastic opportunities in the Welsh sports broadcast industry. The sport broadcast industry is a fast-changing, ever-evolving space. We're really proud that so many of our graduates go on to work in the industry. There's all sorts of possible opportunities for the students to explore once they finish the Sport Broadcast Master's degree.